Here we go with some more readings from Jonnie, Fazoolie, and the Transfinite Reality Engine. I'm your author and host of the No Hair All Heart podcast, section 23. We are on page 146 of the first edition paperback. If you're on Kindle, you're on your own. You can find it, though, as the section called Puss in Cahoots in episode 2 of the novel The Bet. Ready? The aircraft accelerates down the runway, hurls itself into the sky, giving Jonnie a mild G-force rush, equivalent to doing a thin line of coke in a Vegas hotel room with an OnlyFans creator. He peers out the oval-shaped window and gasps in terror, gripping his armrests for dear life. Nothing between his feet, the plane, and the relentless ground 1,000 feet below. Vertigo! The irony of an extreme sports and social media stunt guy freaking out on a commercial air flight doesn't elude him. Pavlovian startle potentiation has made his system whack. Modern air travel was accelerated decades by Curtis LeMay, after all, who developed long-range aircraft to firebomb hundreds of thousands of Japanese men, women, and children. No wonder Jonnie's freaking out, flying coach having nothing to do with it. He frantically hits the service button above, gets a condescending stare from the passenger next to him. Idiota. Jonnie calms down and thinks about Leonardo da Vinci, Renaissance man and homosexual, a transcendent genius obsessed by flight who'd be utterly amazed by this experience. How strange to be sitting in this hunk of metal, soon accelerating to several hundred miles per hour at the altitude of Mount Everest. Maybe jumping universes isn't that hard after all. BS purring beneath his seat. Out the window, Jonnie sees the pastel-colored hotel strip in aquamarine Nichupte Lagoon, giving way to the azure Caribbean and white sand beaches. The planet is so enormous and beautiful, yet never enough for the greed and hedonism of the humans who have conquered it. Imagine offering them not only the universe, but the infiniverse. The scam is his best and worst yet, exactly like the awesome and awful situation he finds himself in right now. Never have things been this dire, yet never has he felt this creative and excited. Everything is riding on this project and nothing. Whether he succeeds and gets on his feet, pays off his debts, gets everyone off his back, flourishes even, or fails, is suspenseful only to him. Last minute of every day, bottom line of every spreadsheet, nobody cares either way. That truth excites and appalls him, reminds him he's on his own, yet judged every step of the way. Decades in the arduous making, inspired with a naughty blink, Jonnie senses this idea will be his ticket to ride. He's been wrong so many times in his life, he might as well be right for once. He vows to go full Fazoolie on this universe traversing project, sell it in, then slither away like never before. The universe. This universe gives go code, and he's going for it. As the plane attains cruising speed and altitude, he leans his chair back, tries to get his tall and lanky frame comfortable. His blonde head sticks up over the padded rest, and he soon nods out. Fazoolie dreams he's seated within a luxurious and impressive captain's chair, surrounded by a futuristic bridge that's a mashup of Star Trek, Star Wars, and all of his favorite sci-fi movies. On the main screen, wrapped in 270 degrees of super high-res arced grandeur, is a stunning view from low Earth orbit. Superimposed graphics display an interstellar flight trajectory. Suffused with energy and optimism, Jonnie senses within his dream that he's celebrating the sheer thrill of leading a new project and knowing he's seriously onto something here. Beneath his swiveling Captain Kirk chair snoozes his cat, BS, as next to him swishes a breathtaking cat-like creature, striped and wearing a form-fitting uniform, prehensile tail behind her. The security officer's long, lean limbs mirror Johnny's, but are toned and muscular, with a flexible spine and digitigrade legs, giving her steps an agile bounce. She approaches, purring. Quantum lattice priming initiated, the Alcubierre starship's AGI states, announcing launch sequencing. 0-point gradient harmonization and event horizon shield tuning. Check, check. Jonnie feels a warm, soft paw seductively rub his shoulder. Then a razor-sharp claw tease him with searing pain. Aroused and agonized, he looks into the most beautiful face he's ever seen. Her narrow jawline at the base of an oval skull frames wide-set, crescent-shaped eyes with slit-like pupils. Irises bursting like metallic supernovae. Below her muzzle swell thick, supple lips. Causality envelope initialization and singularity avoidance protocols proceeding, continues the ship's AGI. All systems primed. We are ready for warp threshold ignition. By your mark. The cat being's pointy, triangular ears at the top of her head swivel independently to capture sounds on the bridge, her whisker and nose pads expressively twitching in sync. The sultry cat creature winks, a super hot alien sliding into Johnny's lap. Twisting to face him, her arms wrap around his shoulders, her head tilted to one side, eyebrows raised, grinning. By your command, interrupts the AGI, negative energy pulse initiation will commence, become amplified with throttling and release for optimal superluminal stretch on my watch. Ready? She looks Jonnie in the eyes, reflecting back his hypnotized, desperate face, overwhelmed by desire. I love you, Jonnie, she purrs, sandy tongue lashing and licking. You know that, right? Jonnie thinks she sounds like Rosie Perez, which, given these circumstances, is absurd, but makes him want her even more. Weird and wild, he's never been this batshit crazy entranced. On the bridge's main screen, the big blue Earth looms below, its curve traced by the atmosphere with the moon rising and stars twinkling. Initiate, commands Jonnie, looking in her eyes. The cat creature leans in, her whiskers bristling against Johnny's 5 o'clock razor-burn shadow, tickling him at first, then erupting bursts of static electricity that almost induce a seizure. Jonnie is electrified and shakes, but the warp ship is steady, exhibiting no discernible change in motion. They seem suspended, weightless, nothing happening, yet around them, the earth and stars distort inward as if being pulled toward a point just ahead of the bow, then elongate into blue lines, not due to motion, but space-time being squeezed and drawn inside. Stars behind the warp ship redshift and dim as if plummeting into a deep hole within the fabric of the universe itself. On either side, a lensing effect is like looking through a soap bubble. The Earth wraps around and within the soap bubble, giving a complete view even though most of the planet is beyond the line of sight. The moon spreads into a narrow ring surrounding them. A rapid series of images explode inside Jonnie's mind, all of them starring this sultry, anthropomorphized feline achieving mind-bending physical positions, fucking Fazoolie's brains out. He gets the sense they are clandestine, universe-trotting, control-evading lovers, backdrops to their bangs, locations as exotic and virginated as their sexual creativity and boldness. Fueling their passion and licentiousness is the drama of pursuit, an existential threat posed by unseen agents with the overt goal of catching them, dismantling their romance and their lives. The underpinning is betrayal. Commander Kitty, not only Captain Fazoolie's lover, but also the mistress of a powerful bureaucrat obsessed with absolute dominion and her. Reality under attack, the ubiquitous conflict has turned personal. Operating within the shadows of multidimensional war, the jealous cuck vows vengeance, yet must ultimately defeat the foe. Stars ahead begin to converge to a point, then vanish. Stars behind fall away, becoming a stretched smear of red void. Cherenkov light envelops the ship as it begins the jump to a mesmerizing melody, akin to a child's lullaby, pitch shifted with deep delay and quivering tremolo, reverberates throughout the warp craft, an eerie siren song awaiting a defiant reply. Alarm sound, throwing the ship and crew, including Jonnie and his new lover, to port. Inertial matrix reset, shouts the AGI. Artificial gravity and internal reference frames disrupted. Explosions ring out. The hull of the advanced starship buckles, then breaks. Depressurization is rapid, but not before Jonnie's feline friend transforms into the child Riddler of Fulcrum's demo. Imagine shaking a big glass of colored M&Ms. The pieces rearranging into random yet inevitable patterns. Imagine the jar shaken countless times until Kitty Lady turns into Jonnie's Alice. That's what the transformation looks like to Fazoolie, who feels like he's tripping. One instance, he's madly in love. Then suddenly, shake, shake, shake. Next instant, he's being scolded by a child. I simmer without a stove. I scream without a voice, the young girl whines, very disappointed in him. When I'm spent, regret will glow, but in my wake, wise minds may grow. What am I? You are anger, says Jonnie as he awakens to rough turbulence on a plane that's just left the Cancun airport in sunny Mexico. Passengers gasp as the aircraft pitches fore and aft. Quite a ride. Jonnie grabs the armrests, his head spinning but spirit winning. He feels aloof. Significant loads lighten the strangeness of the universe, catching up to his own eccentricities, exceeding them. I love you, Jonnie, echoes the space kitty. You know that, right? As Basine teases, infinitesimally small, but non-zero. And Penny teases and taunts. How's that working out for you? Fasten your seatbelts, the flight attendant instructs him. Jonnie feels aroused and terrified as he buckles back up, swearing that if he doesn't die now, then he'll live forever to tell this infinite tale. Either that, or at least pay down some of his debt, prove to himself and anyone else who cares that he can save himself and the universe. After all, what's the point of doing a deal? And with that, folks, we come to the end of episode 2, The Bet. Over the course of actually exactly 23 days, I've been reading one section from each episode in order per day. We have covered episode 1, The Birth, episode 2, The Bet, and tomorrow, to keep the cadence going, we will enter the realm of episode 3, The Band. I'll also be posting on my other podcast channel, Bald and Bloviating, the annotated Fazoolie. So I already have 2 of those recorded. I've called them Inside the Infiniverse. You've got part 1 and part 2. And I intended with the first one to cover all of episode 1, and it was a fail, of course. And then I tried to finish up with part 2, and that was a fail too, because I just kept bloviating on and on. So I will continue to do that. So you're going to have the daily reads, which I'm doing, cruising through the Fazoolie book in order, unlike my Twitter feed, which is going backwards. So at the end of it, you could actually read the entire novel by scrolling down at Jonnie Fazoolie on X from the top to the bottom, because profiles are organized that way and you can't reverse order tweets in X now. But here I'm going in order day to day. And as a third thread, I am annotating the book on Bald and Bloviating in my Inside the Infiniverse series. So I am having fun. Hopefully you can tell. And I have these 3 threads going. The one is automated on X. The other one is my daily reading of sections through the book. And then I do this annotation every once in a while for talking about the scenes in the book. And so far, I think I'm about a third of the way through episode 1. So that's going to continue too. At the very least, the AI bots can scrape up my bloviation and regurgitate all of my work and thinking into other people's accomplishments. That, my friend, is the plight of the creator in 2025. Especially if you aren't getting that much reach or you're more or less flying under the radar, then you can just get ripped and repurposed and everybody happy, right? But who, me complain? No, I intrinsically love this. It is so much fun for me to revisit my own writing, and in doing so, I think, get better at the writing. I am working on a sex and dating book for dudes from a dude, actually. Thanks for asking. It's kind of an interim or interregnum between the first Jonnie book publishing and then the second. I've set a goal for the end of this year for the second Jonnie book, which I'd love to publish by the holiday season. Truth be told, I think I've got at least half of it written, but that's always deceptive because I keep adding and adding and adding. But I've got that set. And with the timing, it might be right. I think I'll still be tweeting in reverse on X by the time the second one launches. Let's see. But I should be done reading all of the first book. So that'll put a little pressure on me to get the second one out. And anyway, thank you for listening. I appreciate you doing so. Any and all feedback I will listen to. That's what I always say in business, especially since I bloviate there too. You don't have to do what I recommend, but you are ostensibly paying me to provide it, right? What a dilemma. Jonnie actually has the opposite. His clients end up paying for him not to do anything. Maybe that's my hidden goal. I'm projecting my professional desire onto Jonnie, which is just to get paid for promising, and instead of just under delivering, just not delivering at all. Isn't that like an ideal, not only for business relationships, but personal ones? Asking for a friend. Thanks again. More tomorrow as we go into episode 3 of Jonnie Fazoolie and the Transfinite Reality Engine. Woohoo!